Namaste. Good morning. That's it. That's it. We'll leave it at there. Good morning. No, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be across the planet, around the world. My name's Gregg Prescott from this place, In5D. You're tuned into another Spirit Chat. So we're going to be rocking it real quick here. I'm just going to post a link in Zoom or to Zoom and YouTube, and we'll get started right away. And there we are. We're going to be talking about if there was no such thing as money, because as we know that, that's really has kept us all as slaves, economic slaves to a broken system of fiat currency, basically. So yeah, we're going to be talking about that, and if you took that out of the equation, what would you be doing with your life? So yeah, we're going to be talking about that. Oh, thank you. People already came in and thumbed us up already. Thank you. I appreciate that. So on YouTube, thank you. So yeah, I'll be letting people in here all throughout, and I'll be opening up the chat room here in Zoom shortly. Got a few things we're going to cover first. Sorry about number one, first and foremost, sorry about not giving you guys much of a heads up. I've been tie-dyeing all day today. I made 26 new shirts, 2 of each size in the 7 chakra shirts. I had hardly any of the galaxy spiral. So there's the spiral with like the dark, the purple and black and stuff around that with the galaxy right there. Hardly had any of those. So I made 2 of each size in those. And I also had to remake a bunch of beacons of light because they basically sold out. So they're all in. Well, they're dying right now. They're outside, dying to be brought in. Ha ha ha. That was stupid. Anyway, yeah, I'll be probably, I'll be definitely rinsing them tomorrow and probably posting them the following day on in5d.net. Quick shout out to our friend and our family member, Katie. She broke her leg, and her spirits are amazing. She's just such an amazing woman. And, so she visited her physician today, and her spirits are definitely up. She was out looking for gemstones and crystals when that happened. So, here she is looking for, cool stuff, like a kid, the inner child. I want to find something shiny and sparkly, right? So that's what she was doing. And she's in good spirits though. So I just want, everybody to send her love and light, and to let her know that you're thinking about her. If you know her on Facebook, send her a little message and tell her that you're thinking about her. Also, we had a really good session with Allison Janes. The last time we met, she did a bunch of tarot readings for a number of people, and she kept going for like almost 3 hours, or if not longer. And what you guys don't know is that she does have back pains and some internal issues that she and I are working on together. We're sending her energy, but sometimes it can be painful for her to do that for that long, and I was just concerned about her health. So if you would, please consider sending her loving, healing energy. It's what I do. I envision a ball of energy. I rub my hands together really fast, and I envision this ball of energy, and you can send it anywhere. And just envision who you're sending it to, and you can do that. So send her energy. So she's feeling up to par, and we all deserve that. And I think it'd be great if we actually did something like that for everyone. If maybe we can dedicate a day where we can send energy, those of us that are energy healers, just to send other people energy. So you might want to check out last week's tarot card readings because the week is completed, and going back and listening to her predictions that she made, they're spot on. And that's so hard to do. You guys have really, most people don't have any idea how difficult it is to make a psychic prediction for a group. She nailed it. She did such a great job. And I just want to remind you that the new ones are out. They just came out last night for this week. So starting today and covering you through the end of the week. So check those out on her YouTube channel, Psychic Alley,Ally. And I also have them on In5D YouTube channel. So I drew some cards, some tarot cards from Deborah Blake's Everyday Witch tarot deck. The first one is Death. Ah! Actually, Death is a really good card to draw. If you read tarot cards, a lot of people will see it and think, oh no, it's the Grim Reaper. No, actually, it stands for endings and transformation, new beginnings. I kind of see it like, doesn't look like it, but I see it as like a butterfly, going into the cocoon, coming out as, well, a caterpillar going into the cocoon and coming out as a butterfly. So that's our first one. So that's a very positive card. Don't ever look at this as being something. Never fear death. There's nothing to fear. Okay, so the next one we have is the Three of Cups. And what do you guys see here? There's our little lady witches dancing, celebrating. Looks like they're partying, right? So there's a celebration. It could be collaboration. You might be, maybe we are collaborating on building the new earth right now. So maybe that's what that stands for. So new beginnings, right? New beginnings, collaboration, building that new earth, right? Now we have our final card is the King of Swords. So the King of Swords stands for authority, truth. You could view that as in tarot and in many tarot decks, it is the Libra card. So, seeking balance, finding balance, right? Especially through all the ordo ab chaos that's going on right now, just finding that balance. And with truth, to me, that is largely what we've talked about many times here on Spirit Chat, standing in the vibration of truth, love, and light. So those are really powerful and beautiful cards that we had. So moving on, just want to give a quick shout out to everyone first. In YouTube chat going on there, we have Nathan and Beastie, Christina, Impressive Human, Socorro, La Orange, Melissa, Truth. So thank you for joining us here on Zoom, everyone that's here, as well as on YouTube. So, drew a card from John Holland's Spirit Messages, as always. This one's Soul Power. And I can't read it from the card because it's got all that red on it. Somebody else, you read it. No. Anyway, I'll tell you what, I'll hold up the picture. You guys just check out the pretty picture and I'll read it from the book. All right. So always remember, you're a soul that comes with a body, not a body that comes with a soul. Your soul is your true essence, and you have an unlimited supply of soul power at your command whenever you need it. You drew this card to be reminded of how powerful you are as a soul. Your outside physical world right now might be hectic. Yeah, right? With all the crap that's going on, COVID, right? Quarantines. So it might be hectic, your outside world. And you may be pulling away from what your soul is trying to help you with at this time, the answers you seek may not be forthcoming from the outside world, but wise wisdom and guidance can be found within. And that's always great advice, to go within. I agree. And then our goddess guidance oracle card today is Mat. Right? And this is the mantra basically for Mat is fairness, right? Just like that Libra card, balance, truth, right? And it says, this situation will be handled in a fair and just manner. Okay. So if we put that with everything that's going on with our tarot cards, well, we won. We have won. And that's, been talking about it for a while. The vibration of truth, love, and light is so strong right now that anything that goes on that's not in the vibration of truth, love, and light will be exposed by the light. This is the end of that Pluto and Capricorn cycle right now, where Pluto entered Capricorn in 2008, right on schedule. We saw the collapse of the banking system, with the exception of the too big to fail / jail banks. And then as we continued on further, we've been watching the collapse of money, government, and religion, just as I predicted in the beginning of Pluto and Capricorn. The last time that Pluto was in Capricorn was during both the French and American revolutions. And what's going on right now? Well, there's a silent revolution here in the United States. There's currently a revolution going on right now in France. So it shows you how things are, how time is cyclic, right? Certain things come around, and keep coming around again. But we're at the end of this 26,000 year cycle also. So that's something that's really, really big. And, nobody was around on this planet, at least not anything recorded that we know of 26,000 years ago when we hit this juncture. So something really big is about to happen. Many of us interpret that as being the event. Some of us have actually seen and felt what the event is like, and it's wonderful. So absolutely nothing to fear. The dark is losing, they're panicking. We've already won. So, okay, continuing on. Today's high-pitched frequency is a B major, and I'm gonna have to go to the screen share on this to show you, talk a little bit about the B major. That would be, oops, that's frequency, we'll go here. All right, so the B major, what is the B major? The B major is the crown chakra. So if any of you are feeling tingling on the crown, it's that tingling sensation. I took this high-pitched frequency right before we got on air. So that's the current high-pitched frequency right now. So the mantra for the crown chakra is, I understand. The planet is Jupiter. So at some point you may experience a tingling sensation on the top of your head. It's possible that you may also experience headaches or migraines as well. These high-pitched frequencies are attuning and realigning our energy centers. In today's case, it's the crown chakra. The crown chakra's mission statement is, I know and or I understand. Today you may receive some additional divine intervention and get a knowing out of what appears to be nowhere. Here are a few really cool articles you can find on In5D. I'll put a link to these in the more info section below. When your crown chakra is fully open, you have no real concerns about this third dimensional reality, because you know you are much more than this physical body. It becomes easier to tap into Creator Source and or your higher self to receive divine messages. While we're here, I just want to remind you guys, if you enjoy this kind of programming and would like to help sponsor this, join us on patreon.com/in5D. And for as little as $1.11 a month, you can help support programs like this. For $1.11, you get your name listed on our wall of gratitude, and you get a heads up on when we have shows like this. For $5.55, we have you get all that plus the Insiders Club private chat that's held on the first Wednesday of every month. So that's coming up. Let's see, that would be, just checking the calendar right now, a week from Wednesday, that would be the 6th of next month. So May 6th will be our next one, a week from Wednesday, our next Insiders Club private chat. That does not get published. That's something that I'll give you a private password, and we hang out here on Zoom, and what comes here stays here. And so it's always interesting. I got a few things I'll be talking about this week as well. For the next level is 1111. So you get you get all that plus the afterthoughts and the exclusive mid-month energy report video as well. And I have a bunch of different levels. Anything is greatly appreciated because, as you guys know, not just me, everyone, a lot of people are being shadow banned on Facebook and even here on YouTube. I think there was somebody in one of our most recent spirit chats that said that they didn't even get a notification because they apparently unfollowed, YouTube unfollowed this particular person. And so they've been doing that to me for a while. And I've had a lot of people tell me about that YouTube is unfriending people. I've been at 153,000 friends for the longest time. And, and sometimes it drops. So it just blows my mind how badly the censorship is. So any support is greatly appreciated. You can also help support this channel through in5d.net through these killer shirts. They came out so beautiful. Actually, I should have wore one of these today. I usually make one for myself too. I've got a closet full of tie-dye shirts. So let's see what else. Oh, let's go to our Shuman resonance while we're on the screen share. All right. So here it is. Okay, that's long enough. No, just kidding. The live Shuman amplitude chart had us up to 29 hertz, but it wasn't too long ago that we hit 140, which was the second highest that I can recall, next to that 150 that we had last year. Let's take a peek at, this is a larger view of the Shuman resonance of what we're looking at right here. So it's interesting, we had a little tiny white spot there. We got that, we have the spiking lines going on. We still have our Morse code going on here. We've got a little activity going on here too. So it's a little stuff going on, nothing major, no whiteout, no blackout. Here's something I wanted to show you guys too. I thought this was interesting. Remember when Corey Feldman said that, he was going to expose the cabal, and that turned out to be a flop. Well, anyway, he said his movie only made $666,000. How convenient is that? 666,000. Really? Okay. Well, believe what you want about him. I don't know. I'm kind of moving on. And from there, actually, we are going to move on to this. If there was no such thing as money. So this was really an easy article for me to write because I can easily envision a world without money. My mother, on the other hand, I remember I asked my parents, and my father answered. He had no problem answering. He said he would be a farmer. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Great answer, Dad. I go, what do you think, Mom? She goes, that's preposterous. What do you mean? World without money? I can't. That would never happen. I'm like, just envision it. Can you imagine it? What if there was no such thing as money? That's all I'm asking, right? So the inception of money has intentionally created most of the stress and fear that people fear in their lives. Many people will experience insomnia due to monetary concerns, while others have their fears manifest through frustration and anger. We have brought this into reality that this is the way it's supposed to be because we've never experienced life any other way. From an early age, we're asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? Free and happy are not acceptable answers in a society that places value and worth on everything we do. So if there was no such thing as money, what would you be doing with your life? The answer a person gives you tells a lot about that person. I've personally asked this question to hundreds, probably close to 1,000 plus people. And most people say the same thing. They would have fun. So let's assume you've had fun. Then what? Well, a lot of people say, well, I would travel. Let's say you had fun and you traveled all around the world 10 times over. Now what? Why did you incarnate to this planet? Most likely, it wasn't to become a millionaire while others suffer. Ultimately, we all serve a purpose for being here, whether it's to atone for previous karmic debt and or to serve a specific purpose or several purposes. On a spiritual level, we're always on a path of spiritual growth, striving to attain the next level of spirituality while making the most out of this incarnation. With that being said, if there's no such thing as money, what would you be doing with your life? So if there was no such thing as money, personally, I would be a spiritual therapist to help children find their true divine reason for being here. Just kind of like encourage them to whatever it is that finds them joy. And just kind of like, that's great. Keep going. Encourage them. That's it. Not make their decisions up for them. Just give them a lot of great experiences and let them choose. I would also have an orchard, something that would be really easy to grow, self-sufficient, basically. Like here in Florida, oranges can pretty much take care of themselves. And I would put a sign outside of the orchard that says, help yourself. And if you know somebody who's hungry, grab a little for them too. Chances are I'd also make sure that orchard was organic, so we're not giving crappy food to other people. But I'm curious what you guys think. If there was no such thing as money, what would you be doing? So with that in mind, I'm going to unmute everybody. Welcome to In5D Chat. What do you guys think? If there's no such thing as money, what would you be doing right now?
I'd be sitting right here talking to you guys because we'd have to have something else to talk about.
I love it. It's great. After we got done talking, then what would you do?
I'd probably go check out James because he's running around naked in the rock.
In the woods.
Put some clothes on, Jane.
Man, I'm trying to get some of that light coming in, man. That feels good, man. Makes you happy.
Okay, and then after that, what would you do?
Oh wow! I get to do more.
There's no such thing as money. So, we've already
I'd go find some.
James run around naked. Then what?
I'd go check some caves out, and just man, I love to travel. But you gotta understand, you don't need a whole lot of money to travel. Oh, wait a minute. Today you do. Okay, they
No,
cut
you
my
wouldn't.
damn thumb off.
If there's no such thing as money, you would be able to travel anywhere you wanted. And let's say you've traveled everywhere you could possibly go, and we've already had a gajillion chats. Eventually, you're going to want to do something. What are you going to want to do?
I'm going on a. I'm going out there. See, I'm trying to learn to go out there and here and over there and here. Well, how about you guys? Don't y'all want to go on a space ride?
How would you do that?
Well, I don't know. I'd probably follow the vibrational light beams that I see whenever I hear music and stuff.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know?
So all right. So in essence, what you would do is you would basically gather near people who could make that reality, that vision come to reality.
Right.
Okay. That's a plan. I get it. Okay. Des, what would you be doing? I have a feeling it's pretty much what you're doing right now.
Oh, there was no such thing as money?
Yeah.
I would own a huge plot of land in Hawaii and be living off the land and be traveling the world digging for stones and, my dream. That's my dream. Traveling the world digging for stones and, giving them away to people for healing, teaching healing.
Yeah, all that has to go on while you're traveling. You have to be helping each other, and just that's why I like to travel, to meet people and learn from them and teach at the same time. You know what I know.
So Des, that surprised me because I figured you would be doing, like making orgone and painting and still doing stuff like.
Oh, yeah, of course. I'd probably still be. I don't know if because a lot of things would be free in life then, and it'd be free energy then. If you think, what if Tesla actually, nothing happened with Tesla and Wilhelm Reich, we would be on a whole different kind of path. We wouldn't have to have, it would be a free exchange of energy. So,
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
For the last 100 some odd years, we should have had free energy. For the last 30, close to 40 years, we should have had at least water-powered cars, if not something similar or more, better form of transportation. We've been so screwed over by, this world governments and stuff like that we deserve so much more and so much better.
I think the real question is, to make it a little easier for everyone to wrap their minds about a world with no money, is maybe how would everybody at this point has been trained that money is in exchange for our time. Well, we tend to think of time as non-existent, but that energy exchange that takes place, how do we replace that? Because the money is basically a drug, an addiction. How do we break that or replace that with a more positive exchange of energy between each other?
I would think that, like I said, like I was saying before, just the gratitude and what you get out of it. I think it's more internalized, like for what I would do, helping children find their true life purpose. That would be gratifying for me. I don't need anything else other than a child's smile to see them enjoying what they're doing, moving in that direction, or having that orchard and knowing that I'm helping to feed people and they have food in their stomach. That would make me feel good. It'd be more intrinsic, I think, instead of placing a value on it.
And that works for us, but how do we relay that to those lower level of it to help just by thinking it?
We become the models at that point. We become the role models. And, it's just a matter of lifestyle, eventually transitioning out of the need for having money.
By example.
We
Okay.
don't need it. It's ridiculous. We are all slaves, working for.
Yes, I agree. We are slaves to that dollar bill.
Yeah.
But I believe personally that we'll be getting help with all this from the benevolent aliens that are waiting.
How? How do you think they're going
the
to help us?
ascension. Sorry?
How are they going to help us? And how do you think they're going to help us?
Well, with everything, allow us to use their technology for health. I mean, I've read some of this, online. And I do believe that's the case. I did read somewhere, I think it was the same website a while ago, but I haven't been able to find it since, that there's some sort of barrier that the people who are in control have put there. And that's going to be broken through light workers, raising the vibrations. Eventually they'll be able to get in, come down, make contact, and basically help us then with
Wait. So this barrier is preventing them from coming?
Yeah, I do believe that, throughout the years, way back in history, since then, that some have got in. They've managed to get in here and there to let us know they're there. That's why I think the governments don't want us to know, don't want us to believe that they are really UFOs. It's not so much that they're covering it up because they're trying to make, anti-grav ships and that. I think it's because they don't want us to know that there are benevolent aliens out there, waiting to come and help.
I think they're already here. I think they're incarnated.
Oh, yeah.
Like Dolores Cannon said, they're trying to figure out how can we infiltrate the planet with more light. And they said, well, incarnate as humans.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Yeah. Helping us basically, with our ascension and but as well, I think there's meant to be, big fleets up there somewhere, and they're just waiting, and it's not going to be long, I don't think. This year sometime. Hopefully.
Okay, let me ask you, if there was no such thing as money, what would you be doing, Alexis?
Oh, well, it's something similar to you. I would like to help and guide people in their ascension process. But another thing, I really want to help with animals as well. Some kind of, sanctuary or something like that. But yeah, lots of things, helping the education systems, make them a lot better than they are now, basically.
Oh yeah, it would have to be better.
Yeah.
Our educational system sucks. I mean,
It does.
I couldn't imagine. All right, so growing up, I was at the bottom of my class, basically grade school, junior high, high school, and the first couple times I went to college, I kept getting kicked out because I was passed off, and I joined a fraternity, and yeah, so I was always at the bottom of my class. Why? Because I couldn't pay attention in school because I found it incredibly boring. But when I finally went back to school for psychology, something that I was really interested in, I graduated with honors for both my BA and my master's degree. So if we can find what kids really are interested in at a young age, and they were to have that kind of zest for their education, imagine how much better off we would all be right now, instead of putting them through bullshit through kindergarten through 12th grade and then continuing education, which is a big farce on top of it. People get these liberal arts degrees that are worth nothing, but they tolerated 4 years of crap to get a liberal arts degree. So yeah, I would definitely change the educational system to something that centered around people's interests at a young age.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
So who else? Well, if there was no such thing as money, what would you guys be doing with your life? Jump in.
I guess so many things I want to do. Helping people with their animals, just exchange the energies, the times when you help someone, that they help also someone else. Just like a change. Yeah, I get a little bit lost in what I want to say.
No, that's great. I mean, we need people to help the animals too, and I think it's great
Yeah.
that both you and Alexis had mentioned that. My thing is children. So children, animals. I love that. We're covering, you know, things that are important to us. You know, the relationships that we have.
I years ago I was a riding instructor and I taught a lot of children on horseback riding. Yeah, I love to do that.
Mhm.
Even
That's-
an owner of the stables. Well, he said, "Can you please teach those children because I'm occupied." And there were children that had traumas, very, very big trauma. Was very, were very traumatized, and they were living in a home for, yes, difficult to raise children. I started the teaching, and they were on horseback. They never listened to the owner of the stables. It took me about 15 minutes, and they were all in. And there was one child that, well, I tried to let him jump over a little. He was so fearful. You had to help him with everything. He had no way of making his own decisions. And I managed to push him. And just every time before he totally shut down and broke down, I backed off a little. And he ended up doing it himself, getting that pony on the other side of the obstacle, jumping. Week later, we ask always who wants to gallop around. He was always the last one. And suddenly, and the moment I said it, I heard, what the heck? Look around. He was the first galloping around. Well, he never made his own decisions. And someone who knew him said that I probably broke him from his mental prison. He saw a friend, a 4-year-old at the age of 4, die because he was struck in the head by a swing. And ever since he was in a cocoon and he couldn't. Yeah, they had to teach him, walk him, tell him what to do. You have to walk forward. You have to go left. You have to go right. And from that moment on, I pushed him to that limit. And he made it. He won in a way, in a sense. It changed his life. And I love that. And yeah, for me, money is a restriction because I'm so limited in what I can do and where to go. But I have faith that there will be a day, there will be a time I can do all those things. And that include animals, horses, people, children, of all ages.
I'm with you. I think that's going to happen in our lifetimes. I really do.
Yeah. Right now, I put my dog on raw meat. It takes a third of my week money. And I don't give a damn. He needs to be healthy. And I have faith. I can get it. I can do it.
Yeah, my German Shepherd was on a raw meat diet. I'd get him, there's a store that sells like it's below grade meat, but it's good for dogs and stuff like that. It doesn't cost as much. So I'd get chicken and beef and stuff like that. But yeah, his coat was so much healthier. He had the most beautiful fur because of that diet, and he was healthy as an ox.
I got a picture of him on April 15th. I'll see if I can find it right quickly. Yep. He really was ready to check out. So I had to do something. He had a fat check, and Tuesday I started on a fresh diet.
Come on, Timmy.
And
Come on, Timmy. Come on.
this is him. Just 9 days later.
Nice.
And he's losing weight on the right way. He had a load of those fatty lumps and one really, really big one. And that's already half the size than it was in less than 2 weeks. Less than a week and a half on the fresh meat with green beans and broccoli. And there's one more ingredient I have to add to it, because he's eating some kind of herb when we're walking.
Hey,
so he's still something missing. Cuddle dog, cuddly dog.
So Gary, if there was no such thing as money, what would you be doing?
Well, I'd be a musician. That's what I've always been. It's always what I wanted to be. It's just that I kind of let my dad convince me that was a bad idea, because he was born the year the Depression hit. And when I finally said, "Hey, Dad, I want to be a musician," and this is, I quote, "You'll starve." So, I went to joined the military, went to college, had a career. I'm retired now, and frankly, I don't want to rub it in on anybody, but as long as the government exists, I have income, so I'm not worried, because I'm actually, I'm on 3 different kinds of disability, so I get a check, it comes, Haven't gotten the stimulus check yet, but if it's coming, it's coming. I keep hearing about. I checked out Allie's reading just before I got into this Zoom chat for the Leos coming up, and yeah, it's coming. I'm having my financial future, everything's looking good. So it's what I'm doing now. I'm learning how to record myself and put stuff out and put it out into the world, because, it's a lot easier for me to say things with music than it is with words. It always has been. I mean, the emotions and the music, that's frequency and vibration. That's what everything consists of. And so, I mean, in that respect also, I think it's also a healing thing. And I think music can, the right song can really bring people together and unite people and get everybody, together. So
sure, you can set
that's kind of what I'm doing, man. That's my mission now. Is I'm just gonna, take it slowly, because my iPhone died a few days ago, and actually I sent it off on the 16th, and I've just been going back and forth with Apple tech support about that. Don't have a phone that works right now that I could actually answer, but you know what? That's a good thing. I'm not worried about it. And when I calmed down and started, stopped getting agitated at the tech support people, and I explained what was going on, they said, "Oh yeah, man, we can fix that for you." And so they're going to send me a new phone now eventually. So, I'm kind of like living like there's no money, because right now for me, it's really, it's just, good grief. I actually got into college like everybody did and got all those student loans and stuff. And you know what really sucks is you get out of college today with a useless degree and you owe $120,000 from the get-go, There's no way to pay back that kind of debt. So things are moving in the right direction. I think, guys, we're, you know, like we say, we know we've the good guys are going to win this one. So that's my 2 cents anyway.
A lot of people think that, you know, this is going to change in our lifetimes, that the event will happen in our lifetimes. I believe it. I firmly do.
I really think it's coming in within the next 2 or 3 years, really. I mean, I hope so, because, well, again, my health has started improving now that I've actually started listening to my body and, you know, oh, wait a minute, I need to eat something now. Like right before I came on, I made sure I checked my blood sugar so I don't weird out on everybody, you know, and I've had something to eat. But yeah, and it's, you know, it's just, it's like everybody's saying, you just have to relax and let go and go with the flow and quit trying to make things happen. And suddenly things start happening and it's all good, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I'm grateful that, yeah, we must be near the end, because it seems like, you know, and it's not just me. I think there's a lot of people that are in the same boat. Through past lives, I was here for the end of Atlantis. I was here during the Spanish Inquisition. I'm here right now. There's some of us just incarnate at major epochs in history, and
yeah,
I think a lot of us have done that all throughout.
I finally listened to my many lives, many masters meditation, you know, to go back into the past life. Wow, what an experience. And yeah, I always, you know, as soon as I got into the spirituality thing this time, you know, during this evolution around the planet and this existence right now, and I realized it was spirituality and that, you know, everybody needed to evolve. And it was like, you know, we've got to get this right this time, because I am so tired of coming back here. I want to go home, you know, I want to go home. Well, yeah. we're bringing home here now. We're bringing it here to us. So
yeah, I'm good with that. Bringing 5D to us. Bring it in.
Yeah, it's coming. I mean, it's on the way. It's already here. We just have to get all the 3D crap out of the way, you know, all the old stuff. But
on YouTube, I like the answer here, and I haven't seen all of them, but I'll have to go back and look at them. But Just Jess is saying, if there was no such thing as money, I believe people would share more. And I agree. I think that's spot on. People would share more, because you wouldn't be hoarding anything. You'd realize that we're all in this together. So Allie said she's not going to show her face on here. You with us, Allie?
Why not? She's beautiful.
Because she doesn't have her makeup on.
Well, I don't either.
Me neither. I don't wear it.
None of us have makeup
either.
None of us are wearing it,
You're
Allie.
not braver than me. I'm not brave.
Hey, come on. I sat here with wet hair and brushed it out and everything.
Braver than me.
So, Allie,
You've got beautiful eyes, though, Allie. Look,
Not
such
without
gorgeous
makeup.
eyes.
No.
are you sitting far from your microphone, Allie?
Yeah, I'm sorting out all this junk from the shop.
So I didn't ask you. We were talking earlier. Did you notice any? Last week, you noticed a pattern in the readings. The judgment card kept coming up, and then we, lo and behold, saw the WikiLeaks thing came out. You mentioned that right around midweek, we're going to see something major happening, and you were spot on with your readings last week. Not only that, but also the Shuman resonance. We had 140 hertz on the Shuman resonance. That was huge. So
Wow.
I want to ask you, did you notice any pattern this week?
Not like that, no. No, there wasn't much this week, which goes to prove that was a big thing last week. Because if I'd have seen something this week, you're not going to have two huge things, are you? I suppose.
Well, your Pisces was spot on last week.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Like they all were, but
yeah.
Ellie had me re-listen to her Pisces forecast from last week. And yeah, because I made arrangements to go to London. And now they're saying there's a 2-week quarantine that they're going to be people out there. But I'm trusting that things are going to change by the end of next month. So we'll see what happens.
What was the second to the last card, or your cards that you drew, Greg? The second one? What was it?
The tarot cards?
Yeah.
Well, we had death, the 3 of Cups, which is the celebration. Right?
Yeah.
Death, new beginnings. And the King of Swords, which is the Libra card, seeking balance, order out of chaos.
Order.
Truth, vibration, staying in your vibration of truth, love, and light. So, yeah.
Big changes.
Oh, yeah. I thought you had another card too.
Oh, I had, well, the Goddess and the Spirit Messages cards, those ones.
Yeah, one of the ones that you held up, I've seen it 3 times today.
See
That
that
one.
Soul Power. Okay, that's, wow. John Holland. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen that today in 3 different places. When you were reading it, I'm like, wow, that's the 3rd time I have seen that today.
Yeah.
You know, and the other 2 places, they weren't even in readings, but it was that card and someone said something about it, you know. I won't get into detail about what was said, but it's weird that that very specific card had came up 3 times today.
That's pretty bizarre, that particular card. Yeah.
And now here it is, you know, it's actually directly related to something that I'm talking about, you know. The others were in other context.
So Alexis is sharing her screen. What you got for us?
I'm not sure if I've got the right one actually. I'll get this off the screen because I don't think it is the document I need. How do I take? Oh, there we go. Stop share. Yeah, I'll have to look for the document. I did a screenshot of it. Something that I wanted to show you. Actually, it's on the UK government website. Basically saying that before we went into lockdown, it was sometime in March, that it had been that Corona had been deemed a non-threatening and non what's the word? Infectious disease. Yet we still went into quarantine. So that's on their website. So, you know, you just can't trust anything that they say.
Never. Yeah. I don't. So
is anybody interested in my tech?
In what?
In my what I would like to do, you know? I was thinking,
tell us. I want to hear from everyone. Well, if there's no such thing as money, what would you be doing with your life?
Yeah, well, I was sitting here and collaborating that I would definitely do something with the place we're in, and that really incorporates Mother Earth. You know, I'm a Mother Earth guy, and well, then I thought, let's draw a card. Let's see what I asked the card. What would we do? What would this card say? And I draw the Ace of Pentacles.
Nice. The beginning.
That's a really Earth card, right? Really amazing. And then just before, I think, okay, I draw a Doreen card. So let's see what the Doreen would say, what I would like to, or what we would like to do. I draw the inner goddess. And it say, awaken the goddess within you through dance, self-care, and appreciating your divinity. I find that really amazing. Yeah. So also I was thinking about one thing we really are capable of doing here on this beautiful earth is with vibrations, right? We have heard that from Tesla, vibration, frequency, and actually we see some of the old buildings. They build some kind of structure that were capable and able of resonating sound. It must have been very, very fun working with the sound and frequency. That's my take.
I like that ace that you drew, the ace of coins. A new beginning. It goes well with the death card. What's your opinion of the death card? Do you see it the way I do? That it's a positive card?
Absolutely. I don't see any card being not positive, I would say. But what number is the death card?
Well, I guess it depends on different decks.
It is
number 13.
Yeah, it is on the road from the heart to Venus. I showed you last time. Right? Maybe not. I can show it again if I can find it. Oh, where was it?
Okay, and then
it's from the tree of life, right? So the road from the heart to Venus is the death card. Very amazing.
Yes. And actually, before we get to James, real quick, I just want to tell Allie that you're getting a lot of great compliments on YouTube for your readings. A lot of people are thanking you and saying how spot on you are. So.
Oh, that on your site or YouTube? Because I've looked on YouTube. I had one Christian person be very, very angry with me on there. So, but I'm going to get that.
Yeah. Oh, did you have that same person that I had that was saying all that crap about, it's written in the Bible that you shouldn't have, read cards or something. I don't know.
I've got to ask Jesus for forgiveness.
It's also written in the Bible that all things are made clean. So
yeah,
all encompasses everything, not just food.
Yeah.
All things are made clean, even in the fact of like if you are somebody of a alternative lifestyle.
Yeah.
That's made clean. What it is now, love God, love your neighbor. Oh yeah, open your third eye.
Yeah.
Work on the chakras. That's what the New Testament teaches, but they twisted it.
Of course they did. Love is my religion.
Yes.
And actually, I think also that goes into the death card. We are transmuting. We're transmuting and bringing life to death.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Woo.
So what are we looking at here? Diana?
It's on mute. Diana's on mute.
He's a missing 14-year-old boy who's from Ohio. If anyone sees him, please notify appropriate police.
Hola.
I will share it on Facebook to you guys. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you. I'm just letting everybody in on.
Well, I don't think he's going to show up in Denmark.
So James, you got your hand up.
Oh, well, what I would do, what the world would be without money?
Yeah, no such thing as money. What would you be doing?
Well, everything would change. I I think that people who chose to be a doctor who weren't meant to be a doctor and may not be the best doctor, but they passed the courses and could do the things because they wanted to make the money. I think maybe if the money weren't the issue, maybe they would have been like the next Michelangelo, or maybe they would have made really great burgers, you know?
I think those doctors would be herbalists, and they'd be coming up with tinctures, or they'd be using energy, working with energy to heal people. That's what I think. I think
They'd
innately
lay
they
hands
wanted to do the right thing, but they didn't.
They'd lay hands on people, you know? And
Yes.
yeah.
I think
What I would do if I had, like right now, like I can imagine it if I was young, coming out of whatever education system would exist that wouldn't be based on profit and brainwashing. I might have chose a way different path. What I would do now, though, man, I would just I'd get a bus and go see everybody I love, and anybody who wants to get on the bus, you get on the bus, and we could drive around the United States, and like I'd come see a bunch of you guys that I know, and like barbecue and maybe play my guitar, you know, like I don't know. That's what I would do, and I would work towards any constructive project that we, the people, the actual people of the world, decided to do. Like maybe we decided, well, money is not needed, so therefore we don't need war because war is for profit. So we will just take these guys that were trained to kill, and we could build like adobe homes for people and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I would love to do something like that, like just make adobe homes and earthen homes that don't need all the wasteful stuff we use in our modern construction. I would want to do something like that. I would love to work, like give everybody a home, a good home, made out of earthen materials that won't destroy the world, you know? And come barbecue with you guys. and I get like all gold teeth because I'm tired of toothaches.
Well, I think if there is no such thing as money, I think all these patents that were suppressed would also come out where you could regrow your teeth and you wouldn't have to worry about any of that shit.
Yeah, but the gold's silly and I want to look silly.
Okay. Well, you could just make them like different colors, each tooth. You can have like rainbow teeth.
Like opal, turquoise,
Sure.
you know,
Wow.
rose quartz right here.
You know, if you could do anything, I'd have them flashing.
Right?
Oh yeah, like a Christmas tree, man, sparkling. All right, so Gabrielle, what would you do if there's no such thing as money? What would you do?
But he opens his mouth and radio sounds come out, not his voice.
Oh, what would I do if there wasn't money was not an option? I would I honestly would want to go to Wales. I want to live right next to Stonehenge and wait for my family to come home.
Aw. What family are you talking about? Tell us.
I don't know. Ever since I was a little kid, I've just felt really drawn to that part of the world. And I just have a huge like craving to be there. And I just feel like somebody's waiting for me there. And I feel like it's like a family kind of thing, kind of vibe. So that's where I would want to go.
So while you're waiting, what else would you do?
I'd help anybody I could help. I love helping people. I love making them smile. So I would be, I would probably perform. I like to sing. So
nice.
That's kind of my little quirk.
Good vibration.
That's awesome. I love answers like that. When people say, oh, I would travel and then I just, you know, and I'd party and I'd travel. All right, eventually you're going to party and travel. Eventually you're going to want to do something. That's a great thing. You want to help people somehow, some way, and you'll be singing to them. Maybe you'll sing your advice to them. You know, how do I get to this guy's house? Well, you go to the left.
I would be going this way or that way or above or below. Like kind of like that kind of thing.
I love it. Yeah. I'll be playing guitar.
Oh yeah. We'd like bring the whole
I was just
band,
gonna
like
say.
bring the whole family
Yeah.
along, you know?
Yo, do you not
we
want
should
me to
make
be
a band.
part of your little musical there? Because I can't carry a tune.
I don't know.
Play
It's
the
been a
triangle.
thing since I've been a kid. Like I could carry a tune since I could walk. And my mom and dad were like, yeah, you would be a singer. And my grandparents were like pastors. My mom was a pastor for a while. My dad did youth ministry for a while. And so that was kind of like, you got to do something. What are you good at? Oh, you can keep a tune? Good. Right there. There you go. That's where you need to be. So
Yeah.
my godly gift and talent, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just from that little that you sang, you sounded great.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you. Somebody, our moderator, Terry, saying gemstone teeth. I love it. She's going back to.
Oh yeah, that's perfect. I think Gemstone Teeth would be awesome.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, talking about singing, you know, like we have been for so long since the Beatles been given what they wanted us to listen to. Here's the hits and money and everything was evolved around it straight up until today. You know, we hear what YouTube wants us to hear by it getting more hits and making more revenue for them.
Yeah.
But what we have seen, if you have Facebook and if you've become a member of the Socially Distant Fest that's been going on for like 2 months now, there's like probably close to 100,000 people now at least. There are so many good musicians on there doing it for free or tips, you know, but that we never got the chance to see. You know,
what is the name of that?
We never got to see Gabriel. I mean, I'm sorry.
No,
Gabriel.
you're fine. Gabriel, I answered any of them.
My youngest son is Gabriel, so I read it.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's awesome.
Yeah. You know, so we just now got to see you. Why? Because of money. You know, and you have a lovely voice. You know, and all these other people that that are on these platforms that are like performing for free because they're bored, they're not at work, and they got a chance to shine. They're shining.
Yeah.
The money's not involved.
James, what was that Facebook page called?
Socially Distant Fest. And there's just constant good music coming out, and it's just it came out because of this coronavirus, you know, and everybody's at home, so they're sitting there with their guitars or whatever instrument, all kinds of just interesting, unique musicians who maybe they are a doctor during the day or maybe they flip burgers. Who knows? I don't know. I didn't ask them all, but they're amazing. The only reason I never got to see them is because of money.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of borderline underdog musicians that most of their stuff is free on Spotify, or some of them do like midnight recordings on radio stations. Like if you'll listen to some new hits like around that time, and they're most of them are extraordinary.
Let me ask you this, Gabrielle.
Yes.
What do you think? What do you think about most of the people that are celebrities in the music industry? Do you think that they were basically forced to, you know, go into Satanism and do all that shit, or?
From my perspective, I think some of them had a choice and they chose the wrong direction because of a certain push and pull.
And money.
It's kind of like one of those things where the illusion's there. Like, this will keep me stabilized. This will keep my family, like that kind of thing. It's to me, most of them would have chosen a different path if they weren't like shown so many dollar signs. I think if it wasn't so much about the money for them to keep everybody happy, I think it would be definitely that. Most of the younger musicians have been forced into that kind of thing because they're like their guardian says so, or this will help us help you kind of thing. I personally think that most of them would have chosen a different path given the opportunity. if somebody with a more genuine soul was actually in charge.
What about places like Tavistock that, you know, they say that Tavistock basically cultivated the Beatles. I don't know if you heard about that, but
No, I haven't.
for social engineering, they, you know, you can cultivate basically any band, give them a bunch of music, claim that they're writing it, but push an agenda with that band.
Yeah.
And sell a cajillion albums, make it popular, even though it might not be the greatest song ever. But there's ways of them actually controlling society through music.
I can see that from most of the musicians I used to listen to back before I was awoken, as most people call it. But I think it's more like once you see the curtain's been lifted, it's really hard to say yes or back to that reality. So if they say there as like with Kanye West right now, him going back to Jesus, honestly, if I could see there was actually a veil lifted from that persona, I think that was more of an agenda type thing. I don't think it was actually genuine from my perspective. I have a flute, actually. I was so happy to see you playing that yesterday. The last time we were all on live, I was like, oh my gosh, Roxanne, that is awesome.
Awesome Blossom, hun. How are you?
Awesome Blossom.
Yeah, today's topic is, if there was no such thing as money, what would you be doing?
Yeah, I was watching it a little bit before I joined in. I was like, oh, what are they talking about? They're talking about money. Yeah. I would be doing the same thing, I would think, right? You know, is that what
a lot of people wouldn't be, though. So, you know, it makes you think.
Yeah.
That's what I said, Roxanne. I'd be right here talking to everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for me, the money has turned into an access, a part of the tools. Before I coveted it. Oh yeah, hell yeah, I did. It was a coveting idea. I was taught to be very important. And as my relationship changed with money because of the belief systems I was taught and viewing reality through that perspective, then I had created reality of that perspective, and it was magical. It was a magical part of being a human. And then at one time, I started changing the relationship and understanding it doesn't define me. And now it just flows in as things to access. But, you know, those things come in different ways sometimes too. But I'm not going to bitch at creation for giving me something to gain access to my own manifestations. If it's the process through money or not is irrelevant. So it would definitely, it wouldn't be different for me. Yeah, if I wanted, like, you know, to travel, like what she said, that was her need to go to Wales, to go to Stonehenge. You know, that Gabriella said, and I was like, yeah, that would be cool to travel, and you know, until the dust settles, you know, I kind of like hang out, let everyone play out the game, and then when it settles, I think a travel would be in order, but I don't know how it would play out. Either money would flow in to gain that through the access of paying for it, or it would be offered in a different way. But yeah, money was a bitch for me, Greg. It was a son of a bitch because I was taught it was dirty and I didn't deserve it. Although I worked 18 years in the car business, was very successful. I had the houses and the 3 ex-wives, and I was that guy, you know. But I realized that it was what I was taught about it that allowed it to manifest or not manifest. So when I changed it into a bottle of water or a pen or a set of earrings from James Avery that I got, 18 bucks. There's a lot of sales because everyone is stocking up. So yeah. So I got a pair of earrings for $18. It was a great sale. All of this is creation flowing to me, and how I interact with it becomes my reality. So yeah, money was a tough one. I was beating the crap out of it. It was beating the crap out of me for five solid 6 years, 2013, and I remember Osifius had channeled, one of the guys I channeled, and it was fantastic. You know, he told me something. He told me a little view about money. Is like when money goes away, It's like, I want to learn how to drive a tractor trailer. This young kid, 30-year-old, time is a relative in age, starts to want to experience reality through a thrust of an undefined moment that doesn't define him in the logistics of humanity as measurement, right? It's fantastic. So here's a guy that just walks in and learns how to drive a truck. So he takes the stuff that gets to the store. And I go to the store and I don't have to pay for anything in that store because the store is stocked by a guy who wants to learn how to stock and experience being stocker. And when he's done stocking the shelves and the cashier's done cashing out, and the farmer's done pharmacing, someone else vibrates into that space and creates that experience because it's an absolute artistry for them. And I was like, wow, everyone's doing what they want to do and no one's doing what they have to do. But whatever they're doing is part of society as an unsolicited unit, co-creation through the diversity of it, so you'll have your farmers and your stockers and your cashiers for the food, and you have your people that create clothing and say, here, try this on, and no one's going to hoard because it doesn't go away because the lack is gone. It's like, oh, I got to take it now. You look at all the look at all the toilet paper I have. I'm the king of toilet paper, or something like that. I just laugh at that. I'm sorry. It's funny to me. But you don't have that lack because whenever you go, there's always milk, there's always vegetables, and it's grown because the person that grows it wants it, and you can go into the store, but you only take what you need, and it's always there. And I was like, God damn, Osipius, that's a beautiful earth. And he goes, that's not an impossible earth. It's a journeyed earth. It's an experiential earth. And this tonight's subject, as soon as I saw it, I popped it on. I was like, oh, look at the manifestation. I mean, it might take 100 years, 200 years, 300 years, but how it plays out is each enlightener being their own truth about the relationship to that. As you said, Gabrielle, a couple of times, like 3 or 4 times, it's fantastic. You said, my point of view, my perception, my perception. So you're owning your reality. You're offering your light, and that's how I think we transmute money as the separated idea or the God that we have to pay homage to in order to be successful or gain appreciation through our own people because we don't know our love for ourselves. And I was like, that would be a great thing. And I think this right here, Gregg, this moment right now is a change. It's a perception, and how everyone perceives it is irrelevant because each universe is only unto themselves. And that relevance is a vibrational equation that expresses and allows change. It's fantastic. So I was very excited about it. What's that, baby? I'm sorry.
It creates the option that wasn't there previously. That a lot of
absolutely, yes, absolutely. Your shirt looks like a Miami Dolphin shirt. Oh my God, I love it.
It does.
I'm not a Dolphin fan, but I love the Dolphins because I always have hope for them.
Yeah. It's the first thing I thought when I made it. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, it was like, Dolphins.
Yeah.
But yeah, so fantastic subject tonight, Greg, really.
I firmly believe that money will go away.
I do too.
It's a transitional phase, though. What we're going to do is go back to a gold-backed currency, and then from that point forward, we can transition out of this fiat currency. This is horrible. I was thinking too, so if there was no such thing as money, I could see myself, in 5D with a website or whatever, a glass pad or whatever they call them in 5D. Look for me there because I'm going to have a website called In5D. So when we're all in 5D, we're going to try to figure out how to get to 7D. All right. So
I'll look you up.
In 7D.
Fantastic. In 7D. I love it.
I'm so glad you said 7 and not 6.
Big party in 7D. Yeah. Yeah, we'll look back at these days. Remember when we were back in 3D, but we were talking about 5D? Well, we'll be doing the same thing. Remember when we were in 5D and we were talking about 7D?
I'm hoping that we remember. I really absolutely hate this need to know shit. And come on, give me the memo.
So Matthew, if there's no such thing as money, what would you be doing with your life?
I would be traveling the world, healing, and opening up mystery schools all around the world. I believe what we said about education, that we need to go back and revamp education. And I think it definitely starts with the children. And we forget how to instill imagination in children. And that is one of the things that society and the programming has taken away. That's like the number one thing that they take away when you're a child. They take away your imagination first, and then they start instilling the fear. So what I would like to do is I would just be traveling the world, healing people, opening up schools of mystics, Reiki healing, things like that. And then Greg, those schools will help get us all to 7D.
Perfect.
That's what we're going to do in the 5D. I'm going to open up a bunch of mystery schools, and then we're going to raise our vibration to the 7D.
All right, right on.
But yeah, traveling. I mean, I think everybody here knows that I'm a traveler. I love traveling. Obviously, I worked for the airlines for 3 years. So I've been traveling since I was 7 years old. I've been on every continent except for Australia and, of course, Antarctica. So I absolutely love culture. I think it's one of the best ways to be free, and you feel free. And honestly, like right now, if I had the money, I mean, anywhere I could go, any country, you know, I know a lot of people around the world because of my travels. So like, it's easy for me to like pick up and leave because I can be like, I can call somebody. And I just think that's how we should all be. We're supposed to be connected. And everybody's, I think mobility is going to be very important in the 5D. I think everybody's going to be very mobile, not sitting around a lot and things like that, experiencing life, experiencing everything.
You know, even people like back in the day, you know, Benjamin Franklin and Thomas Jefferson and stuff like that, they had a daytime job. Then they'd come home and invent stuff on top of that. You know, they didn't have the internet where they were dorking around or listening to shitty music that's out there. That's not, you know, back then they were listening to classical music, which basically stimulated thoughts and, you know, energy and stuff like that. But now we're listening to crap. We're not doing anything. We work our jobs and we're drained. We don't want to do anything when we get home after, you know, working some shitty job for an asshole, you know, for most of us. You know, back when I was doing that, yeah, I had my share of shitty jobs too, you know. But if we actually did do something more constructive with our lives, if we took away a lot of the crap that's the stimulation around us, like TV and everything, I think people would be more productive. But like you said, it boils down to the imagination of the children. Start it with the imagination. I love that.
Yeah, start it with the imagination. Like Archangel, he's the protector. He's a protector of children as well. I think that would be one of my roles. I think one of my roles right now is the protector of children. I really, really, really love children a lot, and I just know that my imagination was taken away at a very young age. So, you know, and I have a wild imagination. I'm starting to tap into that again.
Good. Yeah, it's important to, you know, find that inner child again. I don't know if you guys have seen that picture. I think it's from, was it Burning Bush or whatever it's called? I forgot what it's called, but it's the inner children. There's two adults that it's this wire. Let me see if I can find it. It'd be a lot easier but it's this wire kind of drawing or sculpture statue, I guess. But it's of the children on the inside of these wired adults that it's showing the inner child. So Burning Tree, I think it is, inner child. And I'll go to a screen share on this.
I mean, Burning Man?
Burning Man, yeah.
Yeah, Burning Man.
Yeah, so yeah, here's the picture. And I'll screen share it real quick. But this is so true, and I always think about this. This is like the most beautiful picture So you got the two adults sitting back to back. Their heads are down. They're having some kind of disagreement, but their inner child is like, oh, I still want to play. But this is like every day, you know, we have all this stress and all these worries and mundane things that we're thinking about. The inner child just wants to play. Ellie, come out and play. So, yeah. And that's what we lose. For me, you know, my daughter brought that back for me, thankfully, in 1994 when she was born. You know, I got to be a kid again vicariously through her, and I got to do all the stupid little things. I went the extra mile. I painted her fingernails horrendously, but I tried. You know, but I would play in her Barbie house. I had this little Barbie house where I'd do anything for her. But she brought out that inner child. I remember we would make rain hats and put on old clothes and jump in mud puddles, stuff that you don't even think about doing now that we used to do as kids. It's important to have that inner child coming out, to do those silly things. You know, build a sandcastle if you go to the beach. Yeah.
You mean grown-ups don't play in mud puddles?
We should.
I was going to say, man, I've been doing it all wrong. Playing mud puddles.
Yeah, yeah.
No wonder nobody likes me.
Yeah, mud puddles are fun.
I refuse to grow up.
Yeah, I do it on a larger scale now. Like it just rained here in Florida the other day, and so I'm driving back from going to the store, and I saw this huge mud puddle, and I just sped up and flew through it just so I could make a huge splash. So it was on a larger level.
It's much more fun to do that with people standing on the sidewalk.
Oh. You're bad. That's funny. So, Rob, tunes. If there's no such thing as money, what would you be doing?
Go back to the old ways as much as possible.
Yeah. What would you do?
Get the heart and neck back in that man has stolen.
Yeah. What else?
Teaching, learning, listening.
Yeah. Do you think, like what we've been talking about, do you think that the art of teaching would change? Or should it change?
Of course.
Yeah.
You go back to the old ways and see, children are your little brothers and sisters. Your job is to teach them and bring them up the way they're supposed to go. You teach them the old ways, you teach them that they're one with nature, and teach them how to listen and understand. Yeah, things would be totally different. Healing, you teach them medicine, you teach them survival, and the biggest thing, take no more than you need.
I like that.
That's a hard one.
The teaching of medicine at a young age. I love that. How to self-medicate through herbal remedies, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah, all the healings. I mean, it's all over. It's in my backyard. It's out there in the yard. Your dandelions, all those. They're all medicine.
Yeah, yeah. So that's a great answer too. Appreciate it.
My grandchildren eat dandelions. Go out and pick them and eat the flower, the petal, the flowers, and break the leaves off, wash them, and eat them like lettuce. My grandchildren love it. My children won't even touch it, but my grandchildren, they eat it right along with me. Like we go around in the yard picking it and eating it, you know. And,
my parents paid my daughters, or my sisters and myself. They'd give us a Cool Whip bowl, and they'd give us 25 cents for each Cool Whip bowl we could fill with dandelions, because they were making dandelion wine. So,
What does that taste like?
Water?
Horrible. It's got
Dandelion
nasty as fuck.
Dandelion wine tastes horrible.
It's horrible. Yeah, nasty.
High in sulfur.
But well, then again, I'm not a big wine person, and if I do drink wine, it'd probably be red and sweet. So, yeah, give me like I don't know, some box of something.
Me too.
Yeah, it wouldn't be worth having like this $300 bottle of wine when I couldn't tell the difference between that and a box of red whatever.
Box of Mad Dog 2020.
Yeah, sure. Okay, I'm good with that.
Hey, now
That's
come
better
on.
with
No,
That's
that.
you deserve more than that.
Yeah, but it was a good week though, right?
Okay.
Did the cap melt like it did in that movie Top Secret? You know, that's okay. Never mind.
The last thing I had to drink, I think, was back on July 4th last year. I drank Jack Daniel's honey. That was last. Yeah, I haven't drank in a long time. Yeah.
Ooh, my drinking day's coming up, May 5th. Cinco de Mayo, my birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I drink on my birthday.
Me too. Mine's May 4th.
Oh, you'll be hungover on my birthday, huh?
I only drink one glass. I can't do more than one.
Oh, well, I can't stop at one. I want the whole bottle. The whole bottle of wine. Mine.
Yeah, it's funny. I haven't had any urge. I haven't quit drinking. I have no urge to drink. It's weird. It's
Sometimes there's just no need. There really isn't. I'm
Yeah.
high on life all the time. It doesn't really. To be completely honest, I have 3 little kids, so we're always everywhere.
Yeah, there's no urge to get drunk. Back 30 years ago, yeah, that was a whole different ball game. Actually, 40 years ago. God, freaking old. Yeah. I mean, what is it right now?
You want something to drink?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, I think you shaved off 10 years there, Greg.
Yeah.
There's
like a different.
Step up with me. Come on, we're in our 50s. We know what it was.
Well, they don't do it anymore. But back in the day, they had 2 for Tuesdays. They don't do that anymore.
Oh, yeah. Not our days. Ooh, yeah. Yeah.
How about quarter beer night? Quarter beer.
Oh, no. There was beat the clock where it started out at a nickel. At 8 o'clock. You get there at 8 o'clock, you can get nickel
Beat the
drafts.
clock.
20 for $1.
Yeah.
Well, $2. You give them a tip, but yeah. 20 beers for $2. Yeah, I had my share of that crap, and the fraternity days and stuff. So I got all that out of my system at a young age.
Same here, Greg. I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
Same.
Yep.
Same. Yep. Went to Florida State, and that was.
I don't know if it's gone or not. I think I just don't pay much attention anymore.
It just doesn't do anything for me anymore. And honestly, when I do drink it, it makes me inflamed now, and like I don't know, I just get weird on it. So like I'm like a seasonal person now. I'll drink I'll drink once every season. So spring, summer, and fall.
Once a
winter. Once a season. So I mean, yeah, I just don't have a desire for it anymore. But back in the day, I was just going through some old photos from 2010 when I was in New Orleans with my fraternity and everything. And I was just like, oh my God, lots of laughs though. Lots of laughs. I was, when I was a pledge, I was pledging. I never got past the pledging process, but they did take us to New Orleans halfway through, and that was fun. And I was just looking at some old photos, and I was just like, man. But the memories, though, the laughing, though, I laughed. I was just like, wow, those are some good times, and I'm glad I had that experience. Honestly, like I'm not judging my past, because we're put here on this earth to have these experiences. It's just how you learn to grow from those experiences.
Well, you're lucky that when you pledged, because when I pledged, it was the last semester that hazing was legal. They could legally haze when I was pledging. Well,
Yeah.
chances are they all still haze anyway.
Did they make you drink water? Did you do the gallon water thing where they had you had to drink, every pledge had to drink a gallon of water within 15 minutes?
We didn't do that. It was other things, but
Yeah.
I really can't say.
Yeah. That was the water thing. I heard people can die from that actually. So
the thing I found most interesting about the whole pledging routine is that, at least the fraternity I was in, it was very much like the Freemasons. We even had a traditional called Pike's Peak, named after Albert Pike. Even our fraternity.
Oh, were you in Pike?
Pardon me?
You were in Pike?
No. We had a ritual during.
Oh, okay. Oh, gotcha.
Zebulon Pike. That was the guy that discovered Pike's Peak.
Oh, okay. Got you. Sorry.
There's even our fraternity prayer, which is 109 words long, is almost identical to the Freemason prayer. So.
Whoa.
So.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, we had secret societies on campus and everything. Up in Florida State, I believe at FSU, they were called the Burning Spears. The Burning Spear.
Yeah.
Yeah, you heard of it, Diana? The Burning Spear.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're up in Crawfordville. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard of it too.
Yep. So we had that going on campus and everything. So it's interesting, it really is.
What's even more interesting, I went to Brevard Community College. I went to a
Me
community
too.
college. Did you? I maintained a 4.0 average, and FSU invited me to their fraternity. I said no, thank you.
Yeah.
I had, I read the material they sent me, and I was very polite. I just said no, thank you, and that was it.
The sorority. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. The sorority that invited me, they sent me all their little paperwork and everything, and I read through it, and I'm like, I don't like the idea of pledging myself even to the government of the United States, much less a fraternity. I wouldn't sign up for the military. Why would I sign up for a fraternity? That's
sorority.
Sorority, yeah. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Why would I do that? And I just, it put a lot of questions in my mind. What? Because I got a 4.0
because it looks like fun. That's why I did it. It looked like fun. They have back in the day, this was spring of 1980. They had what were called smokers, and they put out a bunch of cigarettes on a platter, and they try to get new people to sign up as a fraternity, pledge or whatever. And there was on the campus where I was at, there was a bunch of smokers going on the same night, and I went to the one that I ended up pledging. That was the first place I went, and I had such a great time. I'm like, screw it, I want to be part of this frat. I had so much fun, and that's what it was, fun. I didn't learn squat in school because I was having way too much fun in the fraternity.
Yeah, I was older. I mean, I had, like I said, I was old enough to have already been to the parties. I didn't do my college until I guess I was 30 when I started.
Adult learner, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot easier as an adult learner.
Yeah, and it was. I studied what I wanted. I maintained a 4.0 average, no problem. When I wasn't ready to learn, I couldn't learn. There was I wasn't ready to learn.
I'm with you 100%.
Yeah.
It was easy as an adult learner, but before that, my parents picked my curriculum in college when I first went. Business administration, which I found incredibly boring. I don't give a rat's ass about the diminishing laws of marginal utility, and I don't even know why I remember that to this day. But it's a bunch of crap that I'll never use or be even remotely interested in. So, but psychology, on the other hand, that was fascinating. So it makes a big difference on what you go for and whether you find it interesting or not.
I've been able to use my degrees, not career wise. You know, I have a master's too, and from the business school and in organizational leadership, and my BA was in social sciences. And in social sciences, you know, I focused on international affairs and political science, and I found the international affairs to be really cool because I took a lot of cultural classes. But I mean, I guess that's why why I was so prepared to travel the world. It was like I knew a lot of cultures and everything when I graduated Florida State, but I honestly have not used my degrees for any kind of monetary gains whatsoever. If anything, I'm in the hole, like major.
So was that an offshoot of sociology that you went for?
Social sciences, it kind of goes over, you know, it's kind of like a liberal arts degree for, you know, you touch a little bit on history, you touch a little bit on like sociology, you can take some psychology courses, you can take international relations courses, political science courses, and things like that. So you can, like, say if you wanted to, you could teach political science in high school, you could teach psychology in high school and things like that. So social science is just you know, it prepares you for, you know, I like it because it taught me, I liked it because it taught me a little bit about everything, I guess. But other than that, there's not much use for it. If you're not going to be a teacher, I wouldn't suggest getting the degree. So,
you know, with my background in psychology, it does come in handy, at least, you know, when I write articles for In5D and stuff like that, because I'm able to put those stupid little letters, MS, Masters of Science, after my name, and it gives our genre credibility and validity, if nothing else.
Absolutely.
You know? To me, it's just stupid little letters, and it doesn't make a damn bit of difference, but it does give that credibility. So
absolutely. You know, when I start my whole new journey soon, hopefully, I know that my degree in the business field is going to help when I start launching websites and things like that, you know, because, you know, and being I guess a leader as well. So
yeah.
Maybe I haven't used it yet. Maybe, you know, I use it in my everyday life, but for like my career yet, you know, maybe it's just, maybe it will come in time.
Yeah, I think it will. It will. That's awesome. Good. So, is there anything else anyone wants to talk about while we're all gathered amongst ourselves?
Allie gave me her itchy nose.
She did. You guys doing anything?
I got something I'd like to bring up, Gary.
All right.
If that's okay. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. What just happened here? Oh, screen sharing.
Yep. Diana's doing a screen share. Okay.
So I had a good friend of mine who just I know this man because we spent some time in Iraq together and stuff like that, and he was posting on Facebook. He was sharing some stuff about disinfectants being injected and stuff like that, you know. And then he went back and he said, look, I'm not left, I'm not right, you know, but it just seems kind of stupid to me, you know. And so I told him, I was like, well, you can't say that, bro, you know. I said, because you're spreading, you know, the fear, you know. So I had to explain it to him a little bit. And it was kind of hateful the way that I had to explain it to him, because I had to really like pierce his ego in order for him to listen. But listen, I'm gonna tell y'all like this, man. You know, this is what they do to us. You know, they give us all these situations, they give us all these things that we supposed to be talking points. But isn't it true that it's just an excuse to be hateful to one another? You see what I'm saying? And so what I'm getting at, Gregg, is that when we walk in the light and we say to ourselves, you know, it doesn't matter if you share shit on Facebook or anything like that. You know, what I'm getting at is how do you represent yourself, you know, because I told this guy straight up. I said, look, anything I say is just going to be seen as an attack, or it's going to be attacked, you know. So what do I say to this, you know? Because I really like this guy. You know, I was fucking Iraq with his ass, dude. I trust him with my life. You see what I'm saying? But how do I get through to that person, you know, in order for him to listen to me when I tell you that the media is playing those mind games on us? You see what I'm saying?
Some people,
And immediately,
you know, it's obviously first and foremost you want to use tact, but some people, even with tact, you can't reach. If anyone else has any other suggestions, I'm willing to listen. I would try to find also. I would try to find common ground, stuff like that is indisputable. Like, you know, I heard that, you know, the GMOs have significantly less nutritional value, or check out those trails in the sky. I heard that they're called chemtrails. I wouldn't come out and say, look at those chemtrails, but, you know, kind of make it look like, you know, this is what I heard, kind of put the ball in their court using tact and, like I said, common ground.
well, I did use tact, and oh shit, my camera's off. Let me turn my camera on. I don't mean to be, there we go. So I did use tact, and I think I actually reached this individual because he came back with this, when I told him, I was like, you know, it's just an excuse to be hateful and stuff like that. He came back with this this thing. He was telling me, well, this is a right-wing, you know, copy and paste, you know, and he was saying like that's, you know, you're just a follower of whatever. And I said, no. I said, go back and read what I posted. You know, I'm not following anything. All I'm trying to do is shed the light and shed the love, you know, and I'm trying to, you know, remind you that we have a choice in this world. You know, we can share hate. We can find excuses to be hateful to one another. However, you know, we can see past that as well if we're mindful and in tune with the games that they play on us. You see what I'm saying? He came back and he said, you know what? He said, looking back, I can see what you're trying to say. You're right. You know, that was something like I didn't get that at first, you know. And so my message is to everybody who's listening, with all of the everything that's going around right now, you know, how easy is it? Because I'm guilty as myself. How easy is it for us to just fall into that rhetoric where we just label people as like idiots, and we use that as an excuse to be hateful or to be insulting? You know, how hard is it? How difficult is it, on the other hand, to try and explain to people that, hey, look, man, what have you done for your neighborhood? What have you done to just go out there and spread the peace? You know, what have you done to just be loving to one another? You know, that's the thing. You know, all that we experience, we can choose. We can let it dictate. We flex that hate muscle, or we can flex that love muscle. You see what I'm saying? And so I'm listening to you guys tonight, and everything has like a lot of good stuff to say, and I've been like quiet and just listening and everything, and you guys are really blessed, every last one of you, man, just being here and stuff like that. But I just felt like the need to drop that for a second, not condescending or anything like that, but something that had happened to me that I experienced, and some knowledge that I had dropped on somebody to the point where they actually listened, and it worked. And I would encourage everybody to share that love and spread that love. Amen. I'll sign off now so y'all can.
No, that's fine.
Oh, you're fine.
You know, Gregg, one thing that has played out in my life on that idea. Okay, I'll wait for that. Go ahead and share, darling. To back up what John was saying, John, in my experience, there's a line, but the line doesn't need to be defined because the line is your subjective line. So the line I'm talking about is the difference between a way shower or an enlightener. I cannot shine my light in another person's eyes, or I'll be perceived as a preacher. We have enough fucking preachers on this fucking planet. I don't want to be one way. There's no way in creation that I'm going to be or follow anybody, because then I would take my own diversity, which allows creation to stay unconditional, because the diversity of creation in and of itself is the fuel, the consciousness that allows us to see our own consciousness develop and change through that idea of everyone's expression. So when you offer that light to that guy, when I offer my life, I offer change through my behavior, through my representation. But the moment I command that representation to be followed through demand, then I become a stuck pig crying for someone to approve of me. And I need that idea person to get on board with I am, because I'm not enough. And I am enough. We all are. There's no doubt about that. I mean, we're not operating at a deficiency. We're creating a species that doesn't know itself, and we're ascending it through each other's love. Let's not forget what we are. We're masters of the idea of humanity to represent ideas of enlightening the self. And then the self enlightens through the idea of chosen other selves to enlighten themselves. So you offer light to this person. And what I understood is I wanted emotionally someone to see the freedom in the things that I found, and I don't want them to be painful. And I would see them and they're like, oh, you're just this and you're just that, or that's this, and well, what about this? And I see the same thing that I was because I evolved it. But I can't show them that through the idea of my beliefs. They have to express that through their own choices. I can't show them what I believe, because if I'm trying to show them what I see, then I'm showing them a belief system through an idea of this is the way. There is no way. There's only I am, my way. And I had to learn that. So when you did that, the guy didn't see it at first, because things happen in natural timing, and each universe is their own evolution. No one's in peril, no one goes away, everything in his existence, but this is the beauty of themselves. And he came back to you and said, hey, you know what? It took a while. I was dipping my tea in this. I was letting it marinate, and I found it. So the idea of representing your consciousness and behavioral aspects of human, that offers the change to another who is ready to transcend. And who's ready? The people that are in your universe. No one vibrates into your reality. Nothing vibrates into your reality out of an accident. You're not unprepared and not ready, and they're not unprepared and not ready. That's just the division of yourself. They're here and now with you. And that's expansion offered. So keep being the true authentic self and use them as sounding board to know thyself. And when you see that beauty within your light, then you offer others to light up themselves. So I would say to you, good fucking job, kid. That was good.
Yeah.
Good light. Good light.
I would like to elaborate also. That's the thing I can
Rock
do.
and roll, baby.
High five, John.
You go, Bo.
High five.
Very
John.
nice, Roxanne. I love you. Also, well, not.
Yeah, you got it.
Love is not something you can say; it can only be shown. So, as John mentioned, this I haven't heard that, the love muscle. I like that. So when you are when we are in love, you would not actually question what anybody is doing for the society or anything, because what you are doing, you are not doing to show off or something. You're doing because you want to do it. That's just me. That's how I am. So whenever you question somebody, you're actually kind of trying to make a contest. I'm just saying, love.
You know, I firmly believe you really can't enlighten anyone.
No,
you know?
you can't.
You can shine your light and hope that they can maintain the flame.
They have to choose it themselves, but the key is you showed them a light.
Yeah, that's it.
When I channeled Sylvester.
But if they blow it out, that's theirs.
Right.
Karen, just give me an update. Would you like to hear?
Oh, on the leg, yeah. What's up with Karen?
Okay, surgery in about 2 weeks. She's speaking of the doctor. She took great care of me. She cleaned and bandaged my huge blisters, cleaned and sanitized my foot, bandaged me very well, then put on a splint. Then wrapped it and positioned my foot and ankle. 3 ankle breaks. I will get a couple of screws on one side and a small plate and screws on the other. She is concerned about the timing and getting my skin healed and swelling down. A little private, a little private. She got her some equipment from Offer Up and a brace-like thing for around the potty. I got the little private. Hopefully tomorrow she'll get the rest of her needs met.
Good.
Wow.
That's good to hear.
3 ankle breaks.
Wow.
Three ankle breaks.
She did it right, didn't she?
Yes, she did. If you gonna fuck up,
That's the
do
goal,
it right.
He goes all the way. No half-ass break
Keep her in
here.
your prayers tonight and for a while because she's gonna be needing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thanks for that,
Bless
Di.
your soul. Yeah, thank
That
you
was
for
good.
the update.
That was good.
Yeah, let's send her lots of loving, healing energy. Be sure to,
Yeah.
if you are, like I said, if you are friends with her on Facebook, send her a positive note. She's in wonderful spirits, but a little extra can't hurt either. Let her know that we're thinking about her and
Yeah.
we love her and miss her. So, you know what? I think on that note, we're gonna wrap it up for the evening. This has been a blast. We covered so much ground on just one topic. If there is no such thing as money, and I greatly appreciate everyone's input and answers. That's what makes this forum what it is. I could come on here and tell you, read that article for you and tell you my thoughts. That doesn't mean diddly to me. What means a lot to me is everybody being here together as family, sharing their thoughts. That's what it's all about. So I want to encourage you guys to, if you haven't already, check us out on Patreon if you want to help support this channel and In5D, or check out in5d.net for cool shirts, tie-dye shirts, and a little bit of time. So until the next time, not sure when it'll be, but could be soon, could be tomorrow. Sending you all infinite love and light. It's Gregg.
Namaste.
Namaste. Much love,
Thank you,
everybody.
Greg. Thank you for what you do.
Guys.
Bye.
Love you.
Love you
Thanks
too.
for listening,
Bye.
y'all.